inpatient just before he died. We've had support from the supportive care team. The children have had some art therapy and various other activities, haven't you?
Yeah.
And just the OT's been to visit us, and the physio, and one of the consultants came out to home. So we had sort of probably most people from the hospice we've been in touch with at some point during the last 3 years. We had visits from the nursing team for the last 6 months before he died, and then when he started getting a bit worse, he came in as an inpatient, and then he had almost a week in the hospice, which was just wonderful. It was a fantastic place for him to be.
Yeah.
It was great for us. While he was in, it was going to be Alice's birthday, so they threw a birthday party with cake and more food than we could eat, and balloons. The night before he died, he was there surrounded by balloons, and during the night he was getting a bit agitated, and the nurses came in to move him, and I said, I think he wants to lay on his side, and they rolled him up to the side, and he just grabbed hold of this balloon and was sort of like letting it go. And he wasn't speaking by that point, but he had a lovely time with his helium balloon. And I remember the doctor said after he died that it was the most peaceful scene she'd ever seen, because he was just there in his bed with helium balloons either side of him, and it was
just tugging on them.
He loved it. It was so, but yeah, the care was just phenomenal for all of us at a really difficult time.
Yeah.
It didn't feel sad particularly, did it? It was...
No, it's weird. I don't even know how to word it, but it was sort of like you couldn't feel too upset, knowing, because you knew that he went peacefully and surrounded by us, and everybody was there for him. Yeah, I don't know.
One of the things somebody said in one of the cards was, because he was only 5'1", you wouldn't know to look at him, but Tim was one of the biggest men I've ever known. We had so many wonderful cards and letters from people, didn't we, after he died?
Yeah.
People that we knew, people we didn't really know, people that he'd worked with 20, 30 years ago who sort of came and said, or the church was packed, so that just shows.
There were people standing.
Yeah, at the back, they were waiting. We came down, and there were people waiting outside, and we were really confused. And then we walked in, and we were like,
the church is completely
full.
Yeah. So I don't know how many people there were in there, but it was sort of standing room only. So I think that was testament to what sort of a man he was, really. That everybody loved him. So we had a fundraiser around about the funeral. We actually started it just before he died, didn't we?
It was sort of a few days before he died. He was something he said was he wanted to put some money towards a bed the bed that he was in, because he just loved it so much, and it was such a brilliant bed. And then he sort of said that's what he wanted. So we set up a fundraiser, I think it was on Facebook, and then people were donating. Yeah.
We got that was about £2,500, which is about half a bed. And then when it was the Jubilee, our neighbours raised money. We had a street party and raised another £300 or so. I think anyone who's considering supporting this Light Up Alive appeal this Christmas, go for it. The hospice is just amazing. We've supported the hospice for years because we've known other people that have had good experiences. But yeah, without a hospice, I don't know how we'd have got through.
No, not at all.